Hey y'all, how we doing out there? Hey man, we got a special guest in the house. It's Busy One Radio, OG Facts with Coach and Brown, home of the stars. We the best. Yes. We the best. Yeah, we got Kingmaly up in here, man. Hey, if y'all haven't heard of Kingmaly, y'all go up on Amazon Prime or any place and look up the book Labels and Limits, and then you can check him out. King, K-I-N-G M-A-L-Y, Kingmaly, man. Hey, not only is he traveled, he's a legend in Cincinnati. He's a legend in Africa. And this is going to be a very, very powerful show because you got two brothers who got the heart, mind of the people on this precious day, which is Father's Day, where we get an opportunity to acknowledge all the fathers, all the stepfathers who take care of the responsibilities of a father, and the mothers who hold it down. And, you know, for whatever reason that they think, you know, they the mother and the father. So, you know, we want to give a shout out to you because you deserve your flowers, man, because nobody don't want to give them to you, right? Because that's what we're about today. You know, we're about that today. So this is OG Facts with Coach and Brown, home of the stars, Kingmaly on the set. And we want to give y'all a shout out, man. You know what I mean? Because y'all worthy, right? So we want to just get a brief introduction from Kingmaly, right? As to, you know, he's got on the t-shirt Original Gods, right?
Yes, sir.
Because
Gods.
he's conscious of the information that who we are. We create our own reality. And we got to be about that, man. We got to be about black business. Today, we're going to have Kingmaly just tell y'all a little bit about himself, a little bit about the couple of books he got back. Then we're going to play a little music. And then we're going to come back and get down to the interview. And we're going to speak life into the fathers and the family.
Ooh, that was a beautiful introduction. I appreciate you, Mr. Brown. I appreciate you, man, for putting in the work in the community and, you know, for being a key pivotal anchor when it comes to Pan-Africanism and also uniting the people and also standing with and for the people, you know what I mean? So I appreciate the work you're doing. And so me, I'm an international speaker. I also go to different schools in Cincinnati, Houston, just throughout the U.S. I speak to the youth, you know what I mean? I'm an international speaker. And I also was in Africa as well, Kenya, at the University of Nairobi. I spoke out there as well. So yeah, what I do is I'm just a person who just wants to see our people more enlightened, you know, so they can be the change they seek in their life, you know what I mean? Because due to the fact that we grow up in this society, you know, we've been brainwashed by these Eurocentric standards, and we've been taught to live by these Eurocentric standards. So we neglect the divine guidance that comes within our soul, or neglect the divine guidance that comes within our mind, because we've been conditioned to believe that we are inferior or we are less than of the reality. We are the original people, the first people. We are God's incarnated. You know what I mean? That's why we've been given a soul. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm a world traveler, international speaker, and I'm just here to, you know, raise the awareness of our people, you know what I mean, so we can be the change we seek in our life, you know what I'm saying? And I first wrote this book when I was in Houston, Texas. You Are the Blueprint, as you can see. You are the blueprint, knowing yourself so you can know your path, you know. And the reason I wrote You Are the Blueprint, because a lot of times due to how we was raised by family and friends, we tend to neglect the divine guidance that comes within our mind, and also the higher calling of our consciousness, which stop us from being a change we seek in our life. Due to the fact that we raised by family and friends, we tend to take on their fears, their insecurities, and when we take on their fears and insecurities, we tend to neglect the divine guidance that comes within our mind, and also the nudges of our soul. You see what I'm saying? That's why we've been given a soul by the Most High and an imagination by the Most High, so we can submit to that imagination, so we can submit to the soul, the nudges of soul, so we can change we seek in our life, and we can architect our life the way we see fit. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I wrote You Are the Blueprint, so we can be cemented in that divine guidance that comes within our soul, and also the higher calling of our consciousness. And also, I also wrote this book called Labels Are Limits, Embracing the Essence of Life. And the reason I wrote this book because we tend to take on these different labels by society, family, friends, and we tend to identify with those labels. And we identify with those labels, it constricts our essence. We become limited by these labels if we don't transmute these labels to make them mean what we feel like or know they should mean according to the divine architect we've been given by the Most High. That's within our soul. We've been given a soul so we can architect our life the way we see fit. We were, when you think about black people, we were created to be divine creators. That's why when you think about black people, you know, we created art, music, fashion, engineering, you know, we got intellectual, you know, we got many different aspects and talents and gifts within us. You see what I'm saying? Because we've been given a soul so we can be the divine architect within our own life. You know what I mean? We got God within us, you know, and the King James version of the Bible, Psalms 82:6, it say, ye are gods and all of you are children of the Most High. So even in the scripture, it say that you got God within you. You see? And so yeah, I wrote the book, Labels Are Limits, Embracing the Essence of Life. And the reason I got the subtitle, Embraces the Essence of Life, because if you don't embrace everything that come with life, if you don't embrace the essence of life, you can't be the change you seek in your life. Like that, when it comes to embracing the essence, you gotta embrace the good in life, the bad in life, the confusion in life. You know what I mean? The core fundamentals that make up life. When you able to value and see the core fundamentals that make up life and people, and value people according to the core fundamentals of who they are, and you able to value the core fundamentals of life and build your life around these core fundamentals, like the peace, the happiness, the care, the love. You know, when you grounded in these principles or these values, and you build your life based upon these values, which is the essence of life. When you build your life based upon these principles and values, then you able to build something substantial and sustainable, because the foundation you're building upon is of good, which is good value, good standards, good morals, good characters, good value, good communication. So when you build your life around these good values, when you build your life around these positive aspects, then you're able to build on a solid foundation. You know, a lot of people, they tend to take on these negative ideals, negative labels, and things of that nature, and they try to build their life based upon these negative labels that have been given to them, and they wonder why the harvest, the seeds that they plant don't bear fruit, because you planting in bad soil, which is the negativity. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why, and there's more to it. I talk about black history, I talk about media manipulation, I talk about government, I talk about how the government manipulates us, I talk about black history, I talk about spirituality, I talk about us being non-ether beings. This book is just deeper than just Labels Are Limits, Embracing the Essence of Life. I talk about history, I talk about so much in here. So in order to get the most out of life, or the best out of life, you got to embrace the essence of life. You got to embrace the core of life. When you can embrace the good, the bad, and the core of life, you're able to cultivate the life the way you see fit. Instead of thinking that these different experiences in your life are meant to destroy you, they are actually meant to build you up so you can be more resilient, so you can be more rising, so you can be the change you seek in your life. That's why it's important to embrace the essence of life and not be limited by these labels. Peace.
All right, hey, Kingmaly, we're going to get on to a little music, and then we're going to come back, man. All right, Kingmaly, man, it's good to see a person that is multi-talented on the show. Busy One Radio, home of the stars, OG Facts with Cards and Brown. You know, not only does he talk about his books, but he's going to be sharing some information on how you can build yourself and build your family. Because, you know, it's all about him today. It ain't about Brother Carlton and OG Facts with Carlton Brown. It's about how can I uplift my brother, my people, my family, the women, the children. Because, man, we need it out here, right? We are needed out here so bad, right? That we looking for a way out of no way. And we always been here. All y'all got to do is start looking to us. Look to Kingmaly, right? Because he has a blueprint, right? Where you can bring yourself out of the darkness into the light, get the mindset you need to build the destiny for yourself, your family. You are the blueprint, right? That is the book. We got labels, our limits, right? And that's what we're about today. We're about how do we change this? How do we get this information from these books in order to take this blueprint, not only so we can plant them in ourselves, but we want to plant them in our children, right? That's why he speaks at schools and stuff like this all over Ohio, right? You know, because what he's talking about is worthy. And we have a special guest, a worthy guest, a one-of-a-kind guest that is not interested in what I can get out for myself, but how he can shine on the inside and watch his people shine, so his family shine, and all of them things. So that's what we're about today. We're going to go ahead and we're going to turn this over to Kingmaly.
Yeah, because you asked the question like how can people be the change? How can our people be the change they seek in their life? It's about studying your ancestors. You know, going back to the source. You can't truly know where you want to go in life or where you need to get in life until you study the truth about your ancestors. Until you study the truth of where you come from and who you come from. You know what I mean? Because our ancestors are pyramid builders, doctors, lawyers, architects. You know, and even when you think about the Chinese they learn their original form of martial arts from our ancient African ancestors, but they don't teach that in schools. You know what I mean? And also the Chinese, they learned how to develop themselves by our ancient African ancestors. That's why China is where it's at to this day, because they held on to them black traditions or them ancient African traditions that our ancestors have, them clues that our ancestors have left in China. You know what I'm saying? So even when you think about like all these different races and cultures, they religions, they the original color that these deities that these people worship and honor, things of that nature, they were originally black. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying all that to say, in order for you to be the change you seek in your life, you got to go back to the source. And going back to the source is learning the ways of your ancestors, knowing the truth about your ancestors, reading books about your ancestors. They are the source to your salvation. If you don't know where you come from or who you are, on you'll be standing on a weak foundation. Your ancestors is the foundation that you must stand upon. It's necessary for you to stand upon the teachings of the ancestors, because I wouldn't be who I am, or I wouldn't be where I'm at, or I wouldn't be doing what I do if it wasn't for the powerful teachings of the ancestors, and the ancestors guide me and lead me in the way. Not only am I talking about the ancestors who are deceased and gone, I'm also talking about the ancestors who are living today, because we are our ancestors. You know what I mean? You are your ancestor. You are your ancestors as well. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people, you know, history is very important, because we got to study the seasons of our ancestors. But you got to also know that you are history creating itself as well, by you being here, by you living, by you breathing, by you thinking, by you operating. So, what habits are you going to instill in yourself, or what habits are you going to act out so you can be the change you seek in your life and your community, and also so you can develop yourself more, because we are people of habits. So the more you tap into positive habits or good habits so you can be the change you seek in your life, the more you'll be able to develop and advance your life in a more abundant and prosperous way, in a more substantial and sustainable way, because you are building yourself based upon those good and positive habits. You see what I'm saying? So yeah.
Hey, Kingmaly. You know, I'd like to ask you a question, man. You know, I was checking out some information about the population of people here in the United States, and I was thinking about the population here in Ohio. Here in Cincinnati, we have 253,000 people. And if each one of those persons donated $1, You know, just finding the people that would put something together that would be responsible enough to make sure that we have black grocery stores, to make sure we have black businesses and restaurants where we can go get something to eat. You know, black restaurants where we can go and get the things that we need, you know, on a daily basis, like eggs and beef and different things like that, because we have turned over our system. We have trusted these people to handle our food. They have poisoned everything. You can't even go out to a fast food restaurant and you know that this is not real food.
Right.
They have poisoned everything. They have been so irresponsible. They have destroyed everything. I went to Kentucky Fried Chicken and got some chicken nuggets. Not chicken nuggets, but chicken tenders. And brother, I ate 2 or 3 of them, and then after it cooled down a little bit, that wasn't even real food. It was like stealing my money, man. Y'all selling me chemicals. You know what I mean? How can we get away from that? You know, how can we advocate to the community so that we can put a board together of some people that we may trust? So even if we donated 50 cents, we could open a grocery store. We could open clothing stores.
So in order for us to do that, you know, I always talk about the foundation. That's why I wrote the book. You are the blueprint. Labels are limits, embracing the essence of life. Because if you don't dissect the minds of the people, like, you know, in order for that to work, people got to be more trustworthy. You know, we got to have more love for each other. We got to have more care for each other. We got to have more understanding for each other. We got to be more patient with each other, more kind for each other, to each other. You see what I'm saying? Because you can't really build nothing substantial and sustainable if the people haven't found ways to become get away from mental slavery. You see what I'm saying? That's why I wrote the book, because in order to change people's lives, in order for us to actually come together, people got to know the importance of us coming together. But if they can't know the importance of us coming together and building these grocery stores, building these banks and things of that nature, unless they know the importance of themselves. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like you can you can talk about economic empowerment. We can talk about getting money. We can talk about all these different things that go on in our community. But if people don't deal with the mental slavery aspect of themselves and don't deal with that aspect of themselves and put a new program in their mind so it can be the change they seek in their life and so they can be the change in other people's lives, then we can't build nothing substantial and sustainable as a community, because the foundation is messed up. So it's very important for our people to know the importance of love, trust, community, and stuff. Because if you don't have trust, you can't have community. The foundation of a community is being able to trust each other, is being able to love each other. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I hear so many people, you know, so many things people talk about. This, we need to attack this issue, that issue, this issue, that issue, the white man, this and that and this and that. But it'd be like, if we don't deal with how we treat each other, we'll never be able to go at the enemy on the outside until we deal with the enemy on the inside that make us attack each other, be wrong to each other, or make us not have trust for each other. So to answer your question, it's mainly about escaping that mental slavery. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know?
So, do you recommend that they get the blueprint book from you?
Yeah.
And also, uh, uh, you know, we can trust enough to give $1 a month, 50 cents a month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not anything substantial.
Yeah.
We can handle that loss. You know, if we was untrustworthy, because they did a job on us. They miseducated us as children and taught us all of these things.
And I want to say something too. I'm going to cut you with, and I want to say something too, because and we can, you know what I mean? We can do that, but my thing is, for the people who spearheading or leading, it's people willing to get behind their leaders. It's people willing to trust their leaders' judgment. It's people willing to stand behind the objective or the mission. You see what I'm saying? Because
I agree.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like, I'm willing to lead. I do work. I done traveled, did work in Africa, did work in Houston, different, got my brand in Africa, got my brand out here in the US, different places out here. And what I realize is what I'm realizing and learning is that, like, the people gotta get behind the people who are pushing these initiatives, and they gotta be willing to trust the people they gotta be willing to trust the people who they put in front of them to lead them. But also, the way I see it too, the person that's leading them gotta be genuine and sincere themselves.
I agree.
You see what I'm saying? So, I agree. So for me, like, I'm leading. I put in the work and things of that nature. So for me, like, I'm willing to do anything necessary for us to get to these certain levels and places and things of that nature. But I need the backing. I need the help. I need the support. I need the resources so we can make this thing come full circle, so we can see the reality that we want to see. A lot of times, people get on social media, they hear somebody talking, like, oh, that's the next leader. But it'd be like, what's the energy of this person like? What's the essence of this person like?
Right.
Are they really of love? Are they really of care? When you meet them and you talk to them, do you sense the sincerity?
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So it's deeper than just a donation. And this ain't cutting you wisdom. You know, I'm just adding context on what you're saying. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's deeper than just us coming together. Who are we coming together with, and who are we coming together? Or who guidance are we coming together up under? Yeah, because it's roles. Like, everybody got to play a role. Everybody talking about we need to be the change in their community, but nobody's trying to play the role, they specific role, to be the change. Everybody want to be the leader, and it'd be like, it's crazy. And when you think about it, making change in our own way is an aspect of leadership in your own way. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Everybody want to be the head honcho or be seen, but it'd be like, you making change in your own life, in your own way, for the collective is an aspect of leadership. You not being for it is an aspect of being a follower, being a follower in a negative way. It's about how people see it. You know what I'm saying?
And me myself, how I think in a way that it can be structured is we bring in elementary youth, we bring in high school youth, we bring in adults, not many, you know what I mean, that have accounting skills, that have, and then show before the people and sign a contract and an oath of office in order to be accountable. And this money is not for you to enrich yourself. You can't do what you want to do. Checks and balances on how the money's spent. And it's got to be signed by multiple people. Put all these things before the people and create a structure. Because I think the people are ready. Yeah. I mean, we ready for change, man. We looking up, we by ourselves. Ain't no nationality, no Asian, no Hispanic, no Africans, nobody come over here that willing to work with us and got our back. Yeah. And then show us, you have over $300 trillion worth of resources in Africa under the ground. And we looking for leaders who will work with some of the people. If we can set up the infrastructure, because if we don't set it up, we can't expect somebody to trust us. We got to show accountability. And I think that starting with something small like this, where each black person in the city donate 50 cents. That's over $150,000 that we can use to show that and earn the responsibility and trust of the people. Because, trust must be earned. Like you said, because we got a lot to overcome. We got the mental slavery, we got the miseducation, we got the media constantly portraying mistrust, theft by blacks, that we this and we that. But at one time, we had our own hospitals. We had our own entertainment industry. We had our own business district. Right? Now, like I said before, over 150,000 gas stations in America, and black people only own 29 of them. How do we change that? Well, we change that by coming together. Right? A little bit at a time. We're not saying all at once. Trust must be earned. You know, I got a king. His name is Shaid Aklum Ibrahim, King of Yoruba in the Republic of Ireland. He teaches me that my eyes are created in front of me for a reason. So I can forever move forward. But I can take my mind and reflect on the past. But I must forever move forward. If we live in the past, we can't have no future. This is why these people are constantly throwing the past in your face, on TV, on social media, in the media, blue, 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 because you can't have a future reflecting on the past so much that that's all you see.
Keep you stuck in the Stockholm state.
Keep me stuck in the Stockholm state. Now, this is a plan of action by them, a plan of destruction. I didn't put this plan together. They did this. Now, how you can see that they did this, it manifests into the world of the community, in our communities. Right? Now it's time for us to put forth a plan of action on, you know, not saying that it's going to work, but we saying we willing to try. I mean, we can start at something so minimal as 50 cents just to earn the trust of the people who we put together in the community, conscious brothers and sisters with checks and balances, so you can't go into the money. Our people are smart ass people. We invented everything in this country. Ain't no way nobody can tell us that we can't put a plan of action together that works for our people and will work not only for us, but for humanity. Where an African government could take what we're doing and use it as a template, where each person could donate a dime in their country and they could take it to uplift the youth. You know what I mean? 10 cents, 10 shillings.
Powerful, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And it gives us the ability to take something small and earn the trust of the people so we can get to the process of building. Because right now, if we're not building, we're not doing nothing. 150,000 gas stations, and we only own 29 of them across the country. Indians and Muslims own them. This is their plan. See, what people don't understand, Dr. Claude Anderson said that the Supreme Court, the Constitution is our enemy. We are classified as 3/5 of a human being. We don't have inalienable rights. Okay? Right? The Supreme Court has never did anything for people of African descent. Except Dred versus Scott, where they said we don't even have a right to be a citizen. So we can't depend on them. We're going to have to depend on ourselves. We got to come up with a plan of action. Conscious brothers have earned the trust and respect of the community, coming forth with a plan so we can put the people together so we can try. Because doing nothing is not leading us nowhere. But, you know, I done gave enough of that, man, you know, because I see the future. You know, and if this works and we take a little bit and earn the trust of the people, we make $2.2 trillion to this country every year. Imagine what that can transform the lives of the future economic destiny of our children, which are our most important asset, which is a blueprint. Because that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. I want to talk about that blueprint. I want to talk about labels or limits. They telling us what the labels are, but there is no limit. My mentor teaches me not even the sky is the limit. Not even the sky. And know what? I got faith in that. I believe in that with all my being, that I'm willing to put action behind that, right? Because that's what it's about. It's about us kings coming together so we can network for net wealth, not only for ourselves, but for the economic destiny of all our generations to come. But I want you to go on, and I want you to talk to us a little bit, Kingmaly, about labels or limits, and then we're gonna come back and play a little more music.
Okay. So, like I was saying, with the labels are limits, embracing the essence of life. Um, like I was telling y'all before, you know what I mean? It just, these labels can limit us if we confine our life to these things that we're labeled as. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is. That's what that means. You know what I mean? So yeah, and it's very important to embrace the essence of life, embrace the different aspects that come with life and things of that nature. And kind of the way I see it too, it's like what I see with our people too. The reason, they people not motivated or inspired to be the change or whatever the case may be. A lot of times, they got to see the examples. You know what I'm saying? They got to see the examples of people who moving and shaking and working. And when they see people moving and shaking and working, that's how the trust is built. You see what I'm saying? When people see people putting in the work. So that's why me personally, like, I talk my stuff. I travel, go to schools and things of that nature. And I give wisdom, but I also want to show people that I'm willing to do the work. I'm willing to get out of the community. I'm willing to show up to these events. I'm willing to do these different things so people can, if they looking for a guide or they looking for somebody to work with or build with, then they can know that I'm a trusted source for these different things and different agendas that we're trying to push forward. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I am. I just be the change I seek in my life, and you know, try not to be limited by what's been placed upon me or be limited by the different programs I've been given since I was young, you know what I mean, and live according to the godhood that's within me, the godhood that's been bestowed upon me by the Salafu. And the Salafu, and so Salafu is our overseers. So the word Salafu is a Nuwapic word for overseers, and the overseers that basically mean those the beings that created us. You see what I'm saying? So that's what a Salafu mean. And yeah, so yeah, that be my perspective and my thing. People just gotta be. It's for the first. It gotta be love. The foundation gotta be built upon love. We gotta have love for each other. That's the first thing. You feel me? But also, a powerful aspect is people got to be inspired as well. That's why, with social media, a lot of people be like, social media killing, social media killing. But it'd be like the white man had control of media for so long and so many years. Now we able to take the media in our own hands with social media. That's why media is important. So that's why, labels are, even when you think about media, a lot of people got negative perspectives when it comes to media because what the white man has done. But we can transmute the label media to benefit us by cultivating new forms of media by um, showcasing our abilities, our talents, and our gifts in the media, and also our story in the media, so we can put ourself out here to see ourselves as in a better image, in a better light, so we can be the change we seek in our life, and so we can see the power of ourselves because what you see what you see is a reflection of what you think is possible. But if you won't see nothing good, or if you aren't seeing anything being developed, or if you see no way out, it's harder for people who are fragile minded or people who just don't know better to find their way out if they ain't able to see it. You see what I'm saying? But that's why I wrote the book. You are the blueprint, knowing yourself so you can know your path, so you can find those answers to be the inspiration in your life within yourself. That's why I wrote the book. You are the blueprint, knowing yourself so you can know your path, so you can tap into the different gifts, talents, and abilities that's been given to you by the Most High, that's been given to you by your Salaf or your overseers and your ancestors, so you can be the change you seek in your life, and so you can architect your life the way you see fit. Because we all different, you know what I mean? We all different. That's why it's called you are the blueprint, so you can block out all the noise and different perspectives of other people and lock in with yourself according to the great ideas you got in your mind, and also the different nudges of your soul. So you can lock in with the mirror, so you can be the change you seek in your life. You know what I'm saying? That concentration on who you are, that concentration on your different gifts, talents, and abilities, and for your energy into your gifts, talents, and abilities is a very important component to have. Because if you ain't concentrating on your gifts and working on your gifts and cultivating those gifts, you ain't gonna be able to change and seek in your life, because you caught up in things that don't matter. You know what I mean? Stay focused on your path, your mission, your purpose, and continue to focus on your gifts and cultivating those gifts, so you can be the change you seek in your life. And focus is really important. Focus is really important. You know, because we nothing without focusing on where we gotta go or who we gotta be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay. Hey, y'all, man, we're gonna get right back to a little music here, and then we're gonna come back with Kingmaly, man, because this is a powerful conversation about, not only how we build as fathers, but how do we build the future for the economic destiny of all our generations to come. So, labels, a limit, and then blueprints, man, by Kingmaly, man. This is a way that we can start to do this, where we can get some understanding, and then as we start to put these things together and try to find the people, we want to bring this campaign to the people and let the people make a decision without us trying to figure out how it's going to work before we even start. So that's what it's about today. OG Facts with Coach and Brown.
Yes,
Busy
sir.
One Radio, home
Yes, sir.
of the star.
Big OG, original gods, all that. You feel? Yes, sir.
Hey, yeah, I mean, we not playing. We got Kingmaly up in the house, but on this Father's Day special, we want to bring you solutions to what we going on in the community. That we come up, we brainstorm together. We are the solution. If we looking for somebody else to come and be the solution, it's not going to happen, right? Then we got Yahuwah, right? And we got Yahshua, right? We talking about the original God, the original Christ, the original name of God, the original name of Christ, right? We want to go back. The truth is the life and the way, right? We don't want to look up something and say, well, this person just got created in 325. You know what I mean? And he not the Christ. He not Yahshua, right? You're not. You're not Simeon Toku. Simeon Toku came. Y'all look him up. You know what I mean? And he got those Christ-like powers, right? We are real, right? This is why we despised and rejected. This is why we told that what you're talking about is crazy, because the Christ is within us. It's within our women. It's within our seed, right? And they want to kill the Christ. They want to destroy the Christ. They want to keep the Christ from coming into the world so that the world can live in peace. I have no idea why they don't want the world to live in peace. I have no idea. That's only an answer that if they ever have honesty in themselves, they can answer. But we're going to talk to Kingmaly here, right? This is just my opinion, what I see, and what I'm about. And this is about Kingmaly today. So, man, we talking about labels, limits, and, man, he's putting the books up. He need to tell y'all where y'all can go get the books, his social media platform, different stuff like that. Hey, Kingmaly. Hey, man, we so honored to have you on Busy One. So please let us know where we can acquire this expert knowledge.
Thank you, my brother. Those some beautiful words. I appreciate it. And thank you for having me on Busy One Radio. And it's a powerful conversation. And you can tap in with me on Facebook, Kingmaly, King space Maly. Tap in with me on Instagram, Kingmaly 999 underscore DA underscore God. So I'm gonna say it again, Kingmaly 999, the numbers 999 underscore DA underscore God. Kingmaly 999 of God. And the books stay on Amazon, but I like to make things more personable. So it'll be best to reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram so you can get a signed copy. And also, if you need me for speaking engagements, come to your school and things of that nature, you can hit me up on my publications email, etherealmindedpublications at gmail.com. So that's ETHEREALMINDEPUBLICATIONS at gmail.com. ETHEREALMINDEPUBLICATIONS at gmail.com. Ethereal Minded Publications. If you need your book published, you can reach out to my publications company and we'll be able to take care of you as well. And yeah, and if you need Original Gods merch, as you can see, Original Gods, you see what it say on the back. We create our own reality. If you need that merch, you can tap in with me, and I'm here to build, grow, and work with the people. And the reason I created the brand Original Gods, so we can always be constantly reminded of the power that's within ourselves, as God's incarnated. You know what I mean? We aren't the most high, but we are an aspect of the most high because we have the most high also within us. Because we have a soul. So the fact that we have a soul is the fact that we have the most high within us. Our soul is what connects us to a higher source. Our soul is what connects us to the universe. Our soul is what allows us to have this rhythm. You know what I mean? When you think about black people and how we're able to dance and how we're able to cook without having certain ingredients, that's an aspect of our soul, the divine genius that's within us, that's been given to us by the most high, the universe, because we are connected to the higher source. We are connected to the higher sources, nine ether beings. You know what I mean? We represents the highest number, and the number line is nine ether beings. If I take my hair out, if I take my locks out, my hair would defy gravity, like the planets and stars in outer space. When you think about other races, their hair lays flat because they are genetically recessive human beings. As nine ether beings, as Nubians, as Africans, as Black people, we are the 100% human beings. That's why we are non-ether beings, you know what I mean? Because we are 100% human beings. We are divinely connected to a higher source. That's why the European has taught us has conditioned us to cut our hair so he can cut off our connection to those higher sources and things of that nature. Even when you think about the pyramids in Egypt, when you would see the pharaohs with crowns on their head, it wasn't just a representation of their royalty. It was a representation of the power of the hair and how the hair is how you able to receive downloads and higher form of intelligence from higher entities, higher beings in the planet, so you can be the so we can receive them downloads, so we can find out how we can be the change we seek in our life in its physical reality by tapping into the those higher aspects of intelligence from our Salafu, our overseers, and also the universe, the planets, the stars, and things of that nature. And yeah, you can check me out on Instagram, KINGMALY 999 underscore DA underscore GOD. Also Facebook, Kingmaly, and TikTok, Kingmaly 999. Oh yeah, tap in with my YouTube channel, Original Gods Worldwide TV, Original Gods Worldwide TV, so you can check out my different speaking engagements, my different journey to Africa, and just more about who I am and where I'm headed, and also the work I do in the community, and also in Africa as well. So yeah, tap in with me. I look forward to y'all catching up with me, and I appreciate this time on Busy One Radio with the OG, the God himself, the King himself, Mr. Brown. You know what I mean, the OG. You know what I mean, Mr. Brown, powerful voice, powerful brother, and you know we got more work, you know, in store. So yeah, stay tuned, man. Tap in with the gods, and if you need that OG merch, reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You know, we gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Peace and love, y'all. Peace.
All right, 100. That was a very powerful show today. And I promise y'all more to come. You know, Kingmaly, I want to invite you out to my private studio. Because I got a private studio at my place.
Okay.
Right? Where we can sit down, we can chop it up, you can do what you do, and you know, we can really talk about some things. We can bring guests, we can do all of that. And this is outside of Busy One, but it's also a reflection of OG Facts with Carlton Brown, Busy One Radio, home of the stars. Because I'm a team player.
Beautiful.
You know, so I want to invite you out to that. But we want to end this out with a song. And then, man, we want y'all to enjoy this day that they set aside to tell you is Father's Day, but to every day. When you take care of the children, you deserve respect, you deserve honor, and you deserve salutation.
Yeah.
And you will get that every day from Busy One Radio, Kingmaly, and the rest of us that will be coming to you, because we're going to be here to let you know that you are always worthy to the Creator.
Yes, and happy Father's Day all year round, and happy Juneteenth all year round, because we don't allow the oppressors to tell us when to celebrate ourselves, when to celebrate who we are, things of that nature. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're on Busy One Radio. But back to you, Mr. Brown.
All right. Hey, now we wanna end this show today. We got another show coming up. All City will be in the house from 6 to 8 p.m. So they'll be heard pulling up any second. So, you know, we want to make sure that they get in. But, you know, I want to end y'all out with put the woman first. Because that's what life is all about. Because without her, we can't plant a seed so that we can live on in this world. And she is worthy. She is the chosen vessel by the Creator himself. And we don't want y'all to ever forget that. You know, we may get lost sometime. We may get frustrated sometimes. We might not like the things that we're talking about, but that still does not take away who she is. So all we can hope is that she sees the importance of herself. And like Martin Luther King said, that one day we will live out the creed of our creation and the responsibilities that we have, man. We love you so much, and we give you a shout out. So we're gonna end this out with a little music. Busy One Radio, home of the stars. OG Facts with Carlton Brown.
Woo! Original Guys Worldwide. You feel me? Yes, sir.